That exchange between Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell on May 23rd, 2008 is part of some 18,000 emails from Epstein's personal Yahoo account obtained by Bloomberg News.
What if Hollywood's darkest secrets were never actually hidden, just protected? For years, people laughed whenever Katt Williams talked about Hollywood elites controlling the entertainment industry behind closed doors. They called him paranoid, bitter, unstable, just another celebrity spiraling publicly. But after the Jeffrey Epstein case exploded online, millions of people suddenly started revisiting Katt's old interviews with a completely different perspective. Because now, many fans believe Katt Williams may have been warning people for years.
Chris Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island Chris Tucker, not Smokey.
Oh, Lord.
And once names like Ellen DeGeneres and Ghislaine Maxwell started appearing together in online discussions surrounding Epstein's network, the internet instantly went into detective mode. But the deeper people looked, the darker the story became. Katt Williams has spent years claiming Hollywood isn't just about talent or fame. According to him, powerful gatekeepers decide who succeeds, who gets cancelled, and who quietly disappears from the spotlight. And strangely enough, Katt's own career seemed to follow that exact pattern.
Epstein, Weinstein, like these guys knew what these extremists liked and provided it, and provided the way for you to to have $1 billion and not create.
At one point, he was everywhere. Sold-out tours, movie roles, viral interviews, massive success. Then suddenly, controversy followed him non-stop. Arrests, lawsuits, public incidents, headline after headline painting him as unstable. For years, mainstream media treated Katt like another celebrity falling apart in public. But Katt later claimed many of those moments were amplified intentionally because he refused to play the Hollywood game. At first, most people ignored him. But after scandal started hitting Hollywood, old clips of Katt speaking out suddenly exploded online again. Millions of views, millions of comments, and people started asking the same question. What exactly was Katt trying to warn us about?
Fly everybody in private jets, talk about the climate crisis.
All organizations have to follow the same rules.
Yeah, that's wild.
Then came Jeffrey Epstein. The Epstein scandal completely changed how people viewed celebrity culture. Suddenly, things that once sounded like internet conspiracy theories were appearing in real court documents and headlines. Billionaires, politicians, royal family members, major celebrities, all connected to the same network. And according to prosecutors, Epstein wasn't operating alone. That's where Ghislaine Maxwell became one of the most talked about names in the entire scandal. Prosecutors described her as deeply involved in recruiting and managing victims inside Epstein's world. Her conviction only intensified public belief that many powerful people connected to Epstein were still being protected. And that's when the internet started spiraling. Because once flight logs, leaked files, and celebrity photos started spreading online, social media users began analyzing every famous connection they could find.
These little girls, they would then stalk them for the rest of their life and continue to verbally assault over the phone and just in person and anywhere that they could find them. They would follow these girls around for the rest of their life.
Old interviews resurfaced overnight. Celebrity friendships suddenly looked suspicious. Every awkward joke got replayed millions of times. And somehow, Ellen DeGeneres became one of the celebrities repeatedly dragged into the conversation. Now, to be clear, there is absolutely no verified evidence proving Ellen DeGeneres participated in Epstein's crimes. But that didn't stop online speculation from exploding anyway, especially after Ellen's public image collapsed almost overnight. For years, Ellen built her career around positivity and kindness. Her daytime talk show became one of the biggest programs on television. Celebrities loved appearing on her show. Fans trusted her image completely. Then suddenly, former employees began accusing the show of having a toxic workplace behind the scenes. Stories about bullying and mistreatment started spreading online, damaging the be kind image Ellen spent years building. And according to many viewers, the downfall happened incredibly fast.
So let's take a look at what's actually in the files. Ellen DeGeneres is named in the Epstein documents, and that part is real. Her name appears in the broader index of over 300 high-profile individuals that show up across the investigative materials, flight logs, communications.
But what happened afterward pushed internet speculation even further. First came the tragic death of Anne Heche, Ellen's former partner. Then came the shocking passing of Stephen Twitch Boss, Ellen's longtime DJ and close friend. Almost immediately, conspiracy channels online started connecting unrelated events together, claiming Hollywood was hiding something much darker behind the scenes. Again, there is no verified evidence connecting Ellen to criminal activity involving Epstein or the deaths of anyone connected to her, but online rumors exploded anyway.
I want to take you back to a time in my life where I tried to commit suicide a couple of times. because it was so dark.
And once again, Katt Williams' old warnings started trending all over social media because Katt repeatedly claimed Hollywood protects certain people while quietly destroying others. In several interviews, Katt suggested celebrities who refuse to follow industry expectations often get blackballed behind the scenes. According to him, powerful people can manipulate media narratives, destroy reputations, and isolate individuals from opportunities almost instantly. At first, people assumed he was exaggerating. But after Epstein's network became public, those statements suddenly sounded much more disturbing, especially after alleged victims started speaking publicly about fear, intimidation, and silence surrounding Epstein and Maxwell for years. One of the most recognizable voices connected to the scandal was Virginia Giuffre. Her accusations against powerful individuals turned her into one of the most discussed figures in the entire case.
Virginia Giuffre, the most prominent victim of the late convicted while Jeffrey Epstein took her own life on Thursday.
Virginia Giuffre is the most credible of the last of the living witnesses, the last public of the witnesses.
At the same time, another accuser, Maria Farmer, publicly claimed she warned authorities about Epstein and Maxwell years before major investigations finally happened. That revelation shocked millions because it raised one terrifying possibility. What if warning signs were ignored for decades?
Originally, it started with things like, I'm gonna burn your art. And then I'm gonna burn your career. And then I'm gonna burn you and the house you live in. And then it was, oh, be careful crossing a street. You can get shot in the back of the head. They were threats against my life. And I told the FBI this.
Then came the sealed files. Thousands of pages, redacted names, missing details, hidden identities. The public expected explosive revelations that would expose everyone connected to Epstein's network. Instead, many people felt like they only received fragments of a much bigger story. And that frustration created a massive vacuum online. YouTubers started building timelines. TikTok creators analyzed celebrity relationships. Internet detectives searched flight logs for familiar names. And every time another Hollywood scandal surfaced, Katt Williams in interviews would start trending again. Some fans even started calling him the only celebrity telling the truth.
In business, nothing is coincidental, or you would be hearing who's losing money. In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money.
But others warned that internet speculation was getting dangerously out of control. Because while some celebrity connections to Epstein are publicly documented through photos, meetings, or flights, that alone does not prove criminal involvement. Still, public distrust continued growing. People started questioning everything. Why were so many records sealed? Why did certain powerful names seem untouched? Why did some stories disappear from headlines so quickly? And according to Katt Williams, that confusion may actually benefit the system itself. Because once facts, rumors, and conspiracy theories all get mixed together, separating truth from fiction becomes almost impossible. That's what makes this entire story feel so unsettling to millions of people online. Not just Epstein, not just Maxwell, but the growing belief that Hollywood may operate like a machine designed to protect powerful people at all costs.
No, this is their 9th time coming to my house. The problem was this time they came to my office and took my kids from an office. Not from my house, from an office. So now when I can't have my kids at my office,
that's an issue.
I must be the most terrible black dude. Because here's the whole thing. You gonna charge me with child endangerment? After I adopted 7 children and had them for 14 years in this state?
PR teams, lawyers, media spin, career threats, public distractions. Katt Williams claims none of it is accidental. And whether people believe him or not, one thing is impossible to ignore. Every single time another celebrity scandal explodes online, Katt's old interviews suddenly start sounding a little less crazy. Now people are rewatching everything differently. Old celebrity friendships, award show moments, deleted tweets, strange interviews. Even silence itself has started looking suspicious. Because once trust disappears, every coincidence starts feeling intentional. And maybe that's exactly why the Epstein story refuses to disappear. Not because people think they already know the truth, but because they believe they still haven't been told the full story. The scariest part? We may never know how much stayed hidden behind closed doors. Because if this is only the part the public was allowed to see, imagine what never made it out.